All right, in this video, we are going to work on the following problem. It says write a JavaFX program with 2 buttons and a text object. Clicking on one button should move the text object to the left, and clicking on the other button should move the text object to the right. And in this example, we are going to use Scene Builder and incorporate the FXML file generated by Scene Builder into our application. Okay, so to get started, we are going to first make a new package, and we would do that by creating a new folder and then giving it a name. I'm going to call this one Move Text. I should use all lowercase on these. And then I am going to go into the Move Text folder, and then that's where I'm going to put all of my files. All right, so first thing is let's open up Scene Builder. And let's see, that is here, blue on. And I'm going to choose an empty scene. And the first thing is to drag your root component in there. I'm going to use anchor pane. And then the next thing is to set your controller class. And I'm to do that, right, you're going to use that the package name that you just created, move text dot, and then move text. The class name would be move text controller. Okay, and let's see, we want a couple of buttons, so drag those in. And then we want some text. That's under shapes. So if you go to shapes and then text, just drag that right here in the middle. Okay, and so for the text, let's you can change the name to whatever you want, and let's increase the font size a little bit on that. And maybe even customize it a little bit. Oops, I gotta click text. Yeah, there we go. You can use whatever kind of text you want in there. Okay, and then we want this text to move around, so we are going to need to go highlight text and give it an FX ID. I'll just call mine text. All right, that should show up down here in the controller pane. Next up, the buttons. Let's call the left button, have it say left, and then give it an FX ID of left button and an on action of handle left button. And let's do the same thing for the right. We'll call it right button for its FX ID, and then handle right button for its on action. And then the text, let's make it say right. Now you could just use the same method to handle both these buttons, but let's just use 2 different ones for now. It's fine. Okay. I think that's it. We have everything set up the way we want it. Left button, right button, and text. We've got our controller class set up, so let's save this. And we are going to save it into our move text directory, and let's call it move text fxml. All And I think that's it. So next up is go to View and then Show Sample Controller Skeletons, and just copy that right out. And go back into JGrasp and then create a new Java class and paste that right in there. And don't forget, on these you're going to have to add import JavaFX.event.actionEvent for these methods here. For whatever reason, it doesn't add that as an import. All right, and then don't forget to compile it. Extremely important. Otherwise, you're going to get some weird errors. It's going to be hard to figure out why it's erroring out like that. All right, next up is create the main application class with our imports JavaFX.application.application. JavaFX stage.stage, JavaFX.scene.scene, and I forgot something very important here, right? I need to also set the package here to move text, right? Whatever the package name, all of your classes, right, in this directory need to have that move text package in there. Okay, and let's see what's next. JavaFX.scene.parent, JavaFX.fxml.fxml loader, and then Java.io.io exception. All right, then your class header, public class move text application. That's going to extend application, and then your start method header. And we are going to put throws IO exception. We're not going to do anything custom on the exception handling here, so we're just going to throw it. Remember, this is a checked exception. So next up, we are going to create our root component, and we're just going to call it parent. Our habit of type parent, the name is root, and then it's fxml loader dot load, and then it is get class dot get resource, and then the name of your fxml file. So that is move text fxml dot fxml. It needs to be exactly the same as this right here. And then the other standard things, create a scene with the root component. And then 600, 400, I believe it is, on the width and height. And remember, you can get that by looking at your root component. If you go here to hierarchy, select that root component, and then under layout, right, you can see 600, 400 right here. Again, if you change this to something else, then make sure that is reflected in this application part here. Okay. All right, and then it's stage, set the scene with the scene you created, give it a title. And finally show the scene. All right, let's see if that will go. All right, looks okay. So I get this. Right now the buttons are not working, right? But everything, this window popped up, so that is good. Okay. All right. So next up is the controller, going into the controller. So What I'm going to do is flesh out these methods, right? And so this method, handle left button, is going to control what happens when the user clicks on the left button, right? And so what I want to do is to move the text to the left, right? So that is, I need to set the text, or set its X position is what it is. So it'd be text.setX, all right? And I need to figure out where it is currently, right? So that would be getX, and then subtract, I don't know, 3 off of there. All right, so this gets its current location in the X direction, that's the horizontal direction, subtracts 3 from it, and then this setX method, right, sets its X position to that. So every time the user clicks the left button, the X position of the text should be 3 less than what it was. And it's very similar for the right one, right? The only difference is that we are going to add 3. And the 3 is kind of arbitrary. You know, the bigger you have this number, the more it will move on a click. All right, let's see if that, oops, wrong one. Run this application. All right, so it should click to the left when we click the left button. When we click to the right, and it should click over to the right. All right, and there we are. And that is it on this one.